Codexes, 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 and codices, codexes and codices, codexes and codices. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another ASMR video for me. And this time around, I cannot decide. Do I want to whisper, or do I want to just speak kind of softly? So I decided, why not do both? I'm just going to be doing a little alternation between some whisper rambles and some soft-spoken rambles. So I hope you all enjoy. So I was just thinking about, let me just, help you get to sleep, because I heard that, you were having trouble, I heard you were maybe having some insomnia, and, I just really want to make sure that you can fall asleep, calmly, peacefully, and get a full night's sleep, because what's more important than that? What's more important than taking care of your body, making sure you have enough energy for the day, and just making sure that everything else comes from that? Dealing with stress, dealing with your body's illnesses, fatigue, all of this comes from sleep. And so I just want to make sure that you are doing well. Hey, have you been sleeping enough? I don't think you have been. I think you were telling me I don't think you've been sleeping enough. So I just wanted to check in real fast. So what? Has there been anything keeping you up? Any stressors? Anything that really you're having a hard time dealing with, thinking about? Maybe your mind is running in circles and you just can't get it to calm down. That's okay. That's totally fine. You're totally okay. Just close your eyes and then maybe take some deep breaths. So I always, got taught, it really helps if you just take a deep breath in that lasts about 4 seconds. So and then you hold it for another 4 seconds. And then you breathe out for 6. I don't know if me blowing into the mic would have been very tingly. I don't know, maybe I'll have to try that out sometime. I'm not wearing headphones, so I can't totally hear myself right now. I can't totally focus on what the sounds are like. I just gotta go off of my own ears, what am I perceiving? What am I getting from all this? And personally, I don't think that my deep breath would sound all that good. But some deep, soft spoken and whispers, now that's much better, and so let's see, what else can I talk about? The March Madness has ended, and that was an insane run. I'm actually super proud of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Good for them. I know everybody is loving Caitlin Clark, and she's incredible, don't get me wrong. Huge, doing so much for the sport, but also, goddamn, can we just take a moment to appreciate the absolute dominance of those South Carolina Gamecocks. They went 38-0. Do you know how hard that is? 38. Shetza, get it in. 38. Shetza, get it in. But no, seriously, that is insane. They have completed something almost no other sport teams in history have ever done. An undefeated season. Undefeated season. Incredible. And I think it's literally for major team sports, I think it's literally just the South Carolina Gamecocks, just them, and the 1972 Dolphins. And they did it defense first. What's her name? Camila Cardosa, I believe is her name. I'm gonna have to look that up. Camila Cardosa is, I believe, her name. Something like that. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I'm gonna have to look it up later. She is an insane insane defensive anchor. Like the shots that she was blocking this tournament, the insane perimeter defense, because it's not just her, their insane defense extended across the entire floor. I was recently watching some North Carolina highlights versus the South Carolina women's Gamecocks, and goddamn, they were eating them alive. These Tar Heels stood no chance. It was clamp down. I'm talking multiple DPOYs on it too. That's what it felt like. Clamp down. And that's always really exciting. I mean, I love some insane offensive talents in basketball. By the way, my favorite sport. I'm a basketball guy. I love some basketball. I like other sports, but basketball's just so good. And they were just every passing lane. There's hands. Every shot getting contested, if not blocked. They were making it hell on these other teams, and it showed. Their playoff run dominant. I think I saw a stat that in their first 4 games in the tournament, the women's South Carolina Gamecocks only trailed for 28 game seconds. 28 seconds across their first 4 March Madness games. Like, what the hell is how? That is otherworldly dominance. So, I'm a Suns fan, and by extension, also Phoenix Mercury fan. Phoenix Mercury. Please, Diana Taurasi. I know you are basically like partial GM. Get some fucking Gamecocks in the building, please. In this upcoming draft, I want to see South Carolina players going to the Phoenix Mercury. Please. Also, that brings me to another thing. People always complain about the WNBA, about how they make no money and all this and that, and it's the freaking schedule. Now, currently, I think they start the season in May. I'm pretty sure it's in May. And then they go until the fall. And it's like, dude, you are setting yourself up for the worst possible of both worlds. Because you start when NBA playoffs are starting. Right? Like May and June basketball, that's dominated by the NBA playoffs, and everybody's going to be watching that. And then you go until there's the baseball playoffs. That doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like you're intentionally sabotaging your product. I think they really should move the season to either line up with the NBA, and hear me out, that seems insane, but what if they have WNBA games and NBA games on the same nights? Why not share a night? And you could have it done kind of like UFC fight cards. Like the women's and the men's fight nights are not on different nights. The women's and the men's UFC fighters in MMA, they fight on the same night, on the same cards. And so you'll have like a men's fight, then a women's fight, then another men's fight. And in that way, you bring in all of the other viewers that are sticking around just to watch the men's sport or whatever. And of course, they're going to want to, not tune off for the women's game in between. Have that when you've got, 2 or 3 games a night on TNT. Get them on TNT also. Have a Lakers Warriors game. I'm so sorry for that. Have a Lakers Warriors game. And then have a WNBA game. Have a Liberty versus Mercury game. Or get the, Aces in there or whatever. Mix it up. you bring in established NBA viewers to also watch the WNBA, then you're double dipping and you are cross-pollinating your viewers. WNBA, hire me. WNBA, hire me. Other option, because I got multiple ideas. I got concepts. I don't know who the commissioner is for the WNBA. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's like Sweird or somebody, but please hire me. My other idea is this. What if the season started in early spring and then you had the playoffs for the season starting immediately after the NBA playoffs end. You know, like in late July into August, right? Because usually the NBA finals are done, are finished. They're done. They're finished by early July or late June, early July usually. Then, there's no football around. Baseball is just stuck in the middle. Regular season doldrums. Doldrums. What a fantastic word. Doldrums. Then you could have the WNBA playoffs in this time period, in these 2 months, in this time period, in this time, in this area, in these months, when you don't have any competition. There's no other major sport besides regular season baseball, but who watches that? There's hundreds of games. Literally nobody can. But then you can have your playoffs be the center of the sports world's attention, right? Then all eyes will be on the WNBA. I keep messing up, but instead of waiting until the fall, when all eyes are on football, and of course you're going to get buried because football is so monolithic in America. It is so very monolithic in America. Everybody, well, maybe not anymore, but everybody that watches sports basically watches football. I am majoritively a basketball guy, but I'll still, tune in for some football. And so, by isolating yourself in these deep summer months, in July, in August, the biggest things you're competing with are just regular season baseball, which only the diehards care for. And I apologize if you are a diehard baseball fan that watches all 100 and, 140, 160, 100 and something games. Insane. Also, shorten the baseball season. Please, I know they don't want to do that because then they'll have less games and less ticket sales, but it's too much. It's too much for anyone. Maybe I could finally sit down and watch some Shohei Ohtani if way less games. So those are my concepts. Those are my ideas. Please, WNBA commissioner, if you can hear me, if you're out there, please shift the WNBA schedule. All right, what else have I been wanting to ramble about? Let's think. What's been happening? Ooh. Yes. So just a few days ago, I went to watch Monkey Man Monkey Man. This probably needs no introduction. It is the debut, the directorial debut of Dev Patel. Oh my gosh. First of all, the man's a dreamboat. He's a dreamboat, folks. He's a dreamboat. So handsome, so beautiful, such a good actor, and a great director. I was expecting a great action movie, and it delivered on that. But it was so much more. The cinematography, the storytelling was beyond that of your typical action movie fare. It elevated the material with the dreamlike cinematography. There's a lot of kind of things scenes that might be confusing by themselves and disorienting by themselves. A lot of spiritual and dreamlike sequences, a lot of internal and impressionistic, I think that's the word, surreal and impressionistic sequences tied together with this incredibly realistic and brutal action, and it works so well. It works so damn well. Dev Patel is an incredible action star, an incredible lead actor. He drips ethos, and goddamn, I highly recommend it. It's also, got lots of mythology going on. I've been looking into the mythology of the Ramayana, and Hanuman afterwards. Ramayana and Hanuman. And I've always liked Indian mythology. I've always been interested in Indian religion and spirituality. I have also, I'm going to make it my mission now. I know the Ramayana is its own big, long epic, but I also want to read. And I've read parts, specifically one very famous part of the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata. What a wonderful name that is. Mahabharata. And the Succession War. Specifically, I've of course read the most famous part, only the most famous part, the Bhagavad Gita. I would show it off now, but I lent my copy to my friend Michael. I gotta text Michael because I gave it to him almost a year ago. I think it's almost been a year. And I gotta see if he's finished it. I'm sure he has. Or he's just totally neglected reading it. No worries if he has, But then, if so, I kind of want my copy back because I took notes. I was taking notes in that thing. But the story of Prince Arjuna and his good friend Krishna, who's more than just his friend, who's a part of him and a part of me, according to the story, and a part of you. There's a little bit of Krishna in you. So hi Krishna. Hello Krishna. Hello, Krishna, and hello, Krishna. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello to the Krishna inside you, to the Vishnu inside you, to the little tiny bit of Vishnu inside you, to your Atman, the singular and universal principle, the universal principle that binds us, that binds us, that binds us, that binds us, that binds us all together, all together, all together as one big spiritual soup. One spiritual soup. Our Atman, our Atman, Atman, Atman. And, you know, reading the Bhagavad Gita, I'm not a Buddhist and I'm not a Hindu. But, even if you are an atheist or a Christian or Muslim or Taoist, I believe it's a Taoist, yeah, or a Sikh or a pagan or agnostic or anything else that I'm missing. Anything else that I'm missing? Oh, Jewish. How could I forget that one? Or if you are Jewish, I highly recommend reading the Bhagavad Gita. And it goes over the pain and the suffering and the pain and the suffering that attachment brings, the desire brings, that holding on to ephemeral, temporal, physical things bring. And the solution to this suffering, the sufferings of desire, which, trust me, I have not escaped. I have not escaped at all. I still, it was midnight last night, and I was really craving some Raising Cane's, so I went and got some. And that was pure attachment, because I could have just made myself a sandwich. I could have just made myself quesadilla. I could have made myself a little quesadilla, honestly. I might make myself a little quesadilla now. I might make a quesadilla now for lunch. This is lunchtime. It's lunchtime for me. And I am starting to crave a quesadilla. But anyways, that's beside the point. The Bhagavad Gita says, the way to alleviate, there are two ways to alleviate your suffering, your attachments and desires, One is to become a pilgrim, a kind of Buddhist pilgrim or monk, engage in a monastic lifestyle and retreat from the busy life of the world to a life of quiet contemplation, a life of hermetic contemplation. I'm using a lot of big words. Basically, just being a little hermit alone and sitting under trees and contemplating the oneness of the universe, the Brahman and the Atman, the Brahman and the Atman, the Brahman and the Atman, Brahman and Atman. Or, if you still need to provide for others, if you still gotta make sure your kids can eat and yourself can eat, and rents are incredibly high, and I think this is the more realistic one. The solution is to decenter yourself, to decenter your desires and your attachments. And the way to do that is by giving yourself over to selfless hard work. Selfless hard work. Hard work in the service, in the service, in the service of others. And obviously, I am not, the shining example of this. I need to volunteer way more than I do, but just it has improved my perception of self. It has improved my attitude toward others. It has improved my relationships to others and to myself by purposefully going out of my way to do small, selfless acts of service for others with no reward, with no expected repayment for myself, for yourself, for myself, for yourself. Just giving time, effort, love, energy, patience, understanding to others. And it has definitely improved my life. So thank you to Prince Arjuna, and thank you to Krishna, or Vishnu, Krishna, Vishnu, for helping me to learn the values of selfless hard work. And this is like a pretty universal thing. Like most other religions will have something about this, especially the Buddhists. And, Christianity ideally is supposed to be the same. Jesus walking around, washing the feet of others. Yes. And so I'll just leave you with that. Do some selfless hard work with no goal of reward or repayment for others. And you'll feel a lot better. It'll feel good to do something purely because it's the kind thing to do. It is the generous thing to do. It is the thing that will help someone else and bless their heart and their life. And I will leave it at that. I hope you are nice and sleepy and tired and zing the night away. Good night or good day or whenever else you are watching this. I hope you have a lovely time and goodbye.